CS wise, LeBlanc 42, Morgana's 43. By 10 minutes, that's very poor farm, especially for Morgana. That's such ease. Level 3 of Dark why do I say Dark Binding? Her pool can clear all the caster minions, which one she only has to last hit melee ones. And LeBlanc does so much more damage that she can really zone her out, force her to go back. She never can quite make up the advantage. Yeah, 30 magic resist. LeBlanc will be doing true damage here. Morgana's gone for a weird mix of Doran's Ring and Catalyst. Typically by Doran's, she gives you HP and a bit of AP, but I'd argue the mana generation is more useful. But she's also building Catalyst. I'm not sure that's a very smart use of her money, especially if she doesn't have so much farm. Bottom lane's getting a lot more exciting now. Ezreal feels more aggressive, he's got his 2 Dorans. Ash spawned a Zeal, so she will crit for more, especially with her passive, but it doesn't really matter if you've got no base attack damage to crit off. Top lane, oh. Voodoo are doing work here. He's been involved in 4 of his team's 8 kills. It's probably not a good utility, and he also has a lot more farm than Trundle. Trundle's had a bad game here. He's ganked a lot, but he's not really been able to follow up very much. Another kill mid. LeBlanc's now got domination of her lane, what would be really helpful if she came and then ganked others. Especially with such great utility in CC bottom. Ezreal doesn't have the mana for his ultimate. Sad. Flux has just waited on that. She might have actually caught Ashe, especially with the slow. She'd followed up and procced her passive. I'm not sure why Sona is so aggressive here. She doesn't have any mana, she doesn't have the damage. Almost everyone apart from Lux is around to mana. It'd be a very easy gank for either jungler. The scoreline 10-2 though. I can see almost no way the purple team could win this game. Long coming up. How much health does Fiora have? 1,100. If they manage to, if Fiora gets in there and lands her ultimate, it'll be a definite kill, but he's also got a lot more health here. He could really afford to chase. Never mind. LeBlanc's really careful on her positioning here, which is a good thing. The enemy Fiora also knows something's up. Our Fiora has been camping this bush, presumably for quite a while. It may look like she went back. Yeah, there you go. Decimated. Unstoppable. Now would be quite a good time if there's such a dominating position and bottom lane's going back for blue team to do dragon. They don't have much ward coverage, but it'd be quite easy to put down. Just lock some wards on her. Yes, she does. It was a bit of a wasted ultimate. Unless you build AP, generally Ezreal's ultimate isn't quite strong enough to clear creep waves because of the diminishing returns effect. Having said that, if you just want to go back and push a wave to the turret, it's quite good. LeBlanc picking up a first blue of the game. Is really the only obstruction to her being completely unstoppable. Is she has very bad mana costs on her spells and a very small mana pool. And of course if you want that early burst you can't afford to build Rod of Ages, it's a very expensive item. I'm sure the health is useful come later game, but out of the capacity you're better off building a Banshee so you don't get caught by CC. Ezreal? Also now building a Zeal. Presumably he's building towards Trinity Force, which gives you great 1 versus 1 power, but when it comes to team fights and other such events, it's not very useful. Smite off? I don't think Trundle got it. Sorry, I do think Trundle got it. Oh, I hate being ill. Ashe should be able to fight it here, yeah.
Dominating.
It's interesting that Fiora's come back from losing top lane early on to winning. She's of course had a lot of help from Udyr and LeBlanc, but typically top lane's usually left alone much more than every other lane. You're by yourself and it's your responsibility what happens. Bottom. Lux has a great strength and support is that she doesn't offer very much utility to her team. With that AP, her shield is very weak. But that E is a great functioning ward to check bushes. Noticed earlier on, Lux put a ward in this bush here. And if she was smart, she'd actually be able to just put the E in whenever she wanted to check it. Saved herself 75 gold. Her mana costs are not outrageous. And bottom turret goes down at 16 minutes. This makes it much more difficult for Ezreal to farm, but with an early game team comp, which is what Ezreal effectively is, he needs to get all the gold he can and push the advantage. Ashe now doing a surprising amount of damage. In top lane, the enemy Fiora is just so cowed, she doesn't dare fight. She's more than average blade actually for the gold for 5. Oh, here we go. Where did we see the health bars? Oh, and Udyr comes in.
Rampage.
Trundle just hanging out doing red. It's not been his best game, really. You can see there that the Ezreal Dolphin doesn't even kill the cast minions. It's at best utility. Well, if you're lucky, you can snipe Baron with it. I've done it once, but if you don't build AP, Ezreal's ultimate is best for building up his passive and giving vision. It didn't seem like much of a buff, but when they changed Ezreal's ultimate and Lux's ultimate to provide vision, it provided a surprising amount of utility to the team there. You can, for instance, if you ulti Baron, you can see if they are doing Baron. Effectively a mini CV on a comparable cooldown. Flashed by Lux there. If she was sure she could have hit her light binding, it was perhaps a good idea. But now they got caught out, they're separated. And they'll be very happy to trade supports here. Oh. This is the problem with Ezreal, you have to hit your skill shots or it's just...
You have slain an enemy.
As you can see, just someone who right clicks is going to win. Udyr comes in, he should be able to follow up. The flash from Fiora as well. They're not sure what to do here, they've lost vision. They know that Morgana's around, Trundle as well. And of course top lane's Fiora is farming, making up the advantage that she lost earlier. Can Lux kill her? Yeah. Oh, perhaps not. She's finally put some points into Dark Shield, there we go.
An enemy has been slain.
What are the scores on the doors? LeBlanc 313, 67 farm. She's the most dangerous person on the team, really. Udyr's building much too tanky to do any damage, so he'll be great for initiating and standing there and taking the burst. He's not going to get any damage done. Lux very standard support items, Ezreal building towards the Triforce. It's a matter of contention what you should build in Ezreal. And I'm inclined to agree that people think Ezreal does no damage because they build him to do no damage. The 50% passive attack speed he gains is not inconsiderable, especially partnered with the auto attack resetter on his Q. I think he's a really underestimated carry. He's known as the Terror of the East, apparently, in China. But they've never really put in a good performance outside of IM Guangzhou. Lux face checking here, which was brave but foolish at best. It's about how I feel that blue team could afford to group up and take a like actually the enemy blue here. Oh. It's bad luck for Lux. If they followed up properly, it would be a very good series of kills. LeBlanc's out of position, she very easily get caught in Fioras. As an assassin melee, she would be much more useful if she was actually in the fight than taking towers.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
I'm sure a tower's not gets caught out though. Something mixed out. It's the great problem with LeBlanc, is that CC really shuts you down. Why would the Banshee's Veil come